Hello, I'm Matthew Jude and welcome. This is Culture the News, the Watch It Played news show. We start out this week with massive news that was announced yesterday. Last week, Fantasy Flight started a cryptic campaign of mystery on their social media that no one had the foggiest about, but we now officially know what all those vague and tantalizing posts are about. Unfathomable, a new game in the Arkham Horror Files universe. The year is 1913. Nothing bad's about to happen, and the steamship Atlantica is just 2 days from port on its voyage across the ocean, where all is not what it seems. Strange nightmares, vicious rumours, and dark shades moving within the shadows. And also, there's been a ritual murder. The premise of this game is that the Deep Ones have set their sights on the SS Atlantica and have infiltrated the ship in the form of human Deep One hybrids, and it's up to you to both navigate the crisis of Mythos cards each round, as well as survive, fending off Deep Ones, protecting the ship from damage, and managing the ship's precious resources as you try to make it back to Boston, all while the hybrids attempt to sabotage you at every turn. The 3 to 6 player game takes place before the events of Arkham Horror board and card games, and there's a bunch of new characters like the ship's captain Kalani, who's described as a tough, experienced sailor, born survivor with a mysterious past, of course. The gameplay involves a series of skill checks where all players contribute skill cards from their hands to a face down pile, apart from Alan, who's definitely lying. But if enough of these correct skills are contributed, then the group succeed. But if the wrong skills are contributed, they don't, and things get worse on the salty seas. But the question on everyone's lips is, doesn't this sound a lot like the reprint of Battlestar Galactica that was rumoured with an Arkham Horror theme? Big time. The steamship Atlantica? While not mentioning Battlestar Galactica at all in the entire press release, to me this appears to be just that. At the moment we have no idea how different it is from the legendary BSG game, what they've changed, added or omitted. We also don't know what expansion material they have used or intend to use in the future, but Unfathomable will be released in September, so we will have to wait until then for the mystery to unravel. I should have said for the mystery to rise to the surface. That would have been better. Too late now. This week's episode of Cult the News is made possible both thanks to you, thanks for watching, and by Valor and Villainy 2, Lludwik's Labyrinth from Skybound Tabletop, coming to Kickstarter on June 22nd. The evil wizard's plans were in ruin. In celebration, Giuseppe, the caring pizza baron, offered the victorious Order Without Borders 20 victoriously prized sun-fired pizzas and use of his world-famous pit of balls, anticipating an evening filled with merrymaking, pizza and pit spheres. Danger was the last thing on their mind. Valor and Victory, Lludwik's Labyrinth, is a 1 to 6 player co-op adventure game where a band of noble heroes from the Order Without Borders must pursue Mad Imp Lludwik into his terrible labyrinth to quell the threat of demonic invasion. Lludwik's Labyrinth is both a standalone full co-op game and a cross-compatible sequel to Valor and Villainy, Minions of Mordak. Follow the link in this video's description to add some spice to your gaming life with Valor and Villainy, Lludwik's Labyrinth's Kickstarter, which launches on June 22nd. Culinary herbs sold separately, I'd have to imagine. Disney Sidekicks, the new game from Eric Lang and Spin Master Games, is coming to Target on August 1st. It's all about the true hero's journey, the sidekick sojourn. Heroes, they get all the glory, but it's always been about the sidekicks. It's easy to see that sidekicks are the real heroes. Where would peanut butter be without jelly? Where would Bon Jovi be without Richie Sambora and his hat? You never even heard of Paula Deming without me.
Who's Paula Deming?
In Sidekicks, all the heroes have been captured, like idiots, so it's up to you and your plucky band of B characters to cooperatively come to the rescue. You'll be banding together to breach the castle where our heroes are being held captive, battling against unique villains, rescuing villagers, and building up your powers in what I hope will be some type of montage to finally have your own victory under your belt. So, whether you want to play as Timon and Pumbaa, Tinkerbell, Abu, Lumiere, Sidekicks has you covered. That was Candlesticks, as you and up to 4 players step into the spotlight. Looks like family fun for fans of Disney and underdogs everywhere. Next, we have another big title from Lucky Duck Games, who are famous for Chronicles of Crime and recently brought us the story-steeped Destinies. And they've announced Divinus, which will be coming to GameFound this summer. In Divinus, ancient Greece is being invaded by the pantheon of Nordic gods, which is cool. I love that idea. It sounds cool. And you play as the demigods who are caught in the middle, hoping to side with the winners of this divine battle royale when all the dust has settled. It will have 12 scenarios in the campaign, and you'll be making permanent changes to the world as the narrative unfolds. And there's also going to be secret boxes. I'm excited about this one. It looks cool. The app, I'm hoping, will bring unique narrative decisions for the players to make. And Lucky Duck have also run a bunch of successful crowdfunding campaigns in the past, which always helps boost confidence. Divinus is being described as a new digital hybrid tabletop game that mixes tile laying, yes, dice manipulation, yes, and legacy mechanisms. So along with the new app, I'm looking forward to the twists and turns that this game will be able to take us on when it comes to GameFound later on this year. Up next are a few game announcements that caught my eye, starting with Savannah Park coming from Capstone and Bright Eye Games. And what actually caught my eye was the fact that it's designed by renowned designer duo Kramer and Kiesling, who between them are behind a lot of amazing games. El Grande, Tikal, Azul, Miyabi. It's a very long list, if I'm honest. In Savannah Park, due out in August, you'll be running a wildlife park as you attempt to group animals together. It looks to me to be a type of tile-laying twist on a flip and write game, kinda, as you build the same park in unique ways with scoring based on placements and all those things that you manage to wrangle along the way. It looks lovely. I think it's going to be a light family style game and one to look out for tile placement and puzzle loving gamers. For something that couldn't be more different, we have what's being described by Z-Man Games as the final printing of Tales of Arabian Nights. I mean, it could be more different, I guess, it's still a board game. Completely different is probably hyperbole. It's not blancmange. Though, truth be told, just turning into a blancmange is the kind of thing that might happen to you unwittingly in the Tales of Arabian Nights. So I maintain that everything I've said so far technically makes sense. Which, you gotta admit, is impressive for a sentence where I said blancmange twice and a third time just now. Flan. So, it's the final chapter for Tales of Arabian Nights 3rd edition, as Z-Man are closing the book on the game and putting it to bed. They're printing one last run, which will only be available on the Z-Man web store in the US from June 11th, with hopefully some copies making it further afield. Essentially, it seems as though Z-Man are trying to narrow the scope to concentrate on more popular titles in their arsenal, like Carcassonne and Love Letter, for instance. They cancelled a whole line of classic Euros last month, including Ra, Taj Mahal, Through the Desert, Samurai, Tigris and Euphrates, essentially 5 incredible classic Knizia games. And they've cancelled the upcoming reprint of The Princes of Florence, another classic title. And while I personally kind of don't like this direction, truth be told, I also don't run Z-Man games, which seems like it's probably a good thing for Z-Man games. There's going to be even more Kingdomino, as Blue Orange announced Kingdomino Origins, as well as 2 other games, Bella Magica and Neoville. Kingdomino Origins, which I'd have called King Origins, but I don't run Blue Orange games, which seems is a good thing for Blue Orange games, takes the kingdom back to the Stone Age, where you're taking control of territories with fire. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? It has 3 playing modes, which each increase the complexity with things like volcanoes, resources, and cavemen to look out for. Bella Magica, by designer of It's a Wonderful World and Meeple Land, has you play as an evil lord recruiting monsters to go and fight pesky adventurers in search of gold. And Neoville Looks really cool. There's, you know, it's by Phil Walker Harding, the prolific game designer of Sushi Go, Gizmos, Baron Park, loads of great games. And in it you'll be building a harmonious city of skyscrapers and nature. They're all coming later this year. As well as that though, Blue Orange are publishing Zoom in Barcelona this summer, which is a game I really liked from 2019 and from Cucafera Games. So I'm really happy that's getting a new edition, as it's a fantastic hand management photo collecting love letter to Barcelona. It's full of dragons as well. And finally, I want to talk to you about the Queer Games Bundle 2021, which is a bundle of over 200 games, software and zines from over 190 queer creators, available now on itchy.io. So this is a collection of over 200 titles, which include video games, RPGs, tabletop games, loads of stuff, for $60 US. And it's running right now during Pride Month as a way to support the community directly, as all the proceeds from the $5 million goal will be split evenly amongst the creators themselves, rather than going to a big corporation who slapped a rainbow flag on their logo this month. There's a pay what you can option, but for the symbolic price of one AAA video game title, you can get all 236 titles. So for all that and more, head on over to itchy.io. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you next time.